The canals. A UNESCO World Heritage Site. Amsterdam's canals are the lifeblood of the city, and they tell a story of innovation and ambition. Built in the 17th century during the Dutch Golden Age, the canal ring was designed to manage the city's growing population and trade. The Prinsengracht, Herengracht, and Keizersgracht are the three main canals that form concentric rings around the city center. As I walked along the Prinsengracht, I noticed the unique architecture of the canal houses. Many of these buildings lean slightly forward, a deliberate design choice to prevent goods from hitting the facades when being hoisted up by pulleys. The gabled roofs, each with its own style, like the step gable or bell gable, added to the charm. I stopped at the Westerkerk, a stunning Protestant church with a tall spire that offers panoramic views of the city. The canals are also home to over 2,500 houseboats, each with its own personality. Some are sleek and modern, while others are rustic and full of character. I struck up a conversation with a local who lived on one of these boats, and she shared stories about life on the water. How the canals freeze in winter, turning into natural ice skating rinks, and how the city celebrates King's Day in April, when the waterways are filled with orange-decorated boats. Jordaan District. A hidden gem. The Jordaan District is often described as Amsterdam's most picturesque neighborhood. Originally a working-class area, it has transformed into a trendy enclave filled with art galleries, boutique shops, and cozy cafes. The narrow streets and hidden courtyards make it feel like a maze of surprises. One of the highlights of my walk through the Jordaan was stumbling upon the Noordermarkt, a lively market held every Monday morning. Vendors sold everything from fresh produce to vintage clothing, and the air was filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and Dutch cheeses. I also visited the Woonboot Museum, Houseboat Museum, a small museum housed in a former freighter, to get a glimpse of what life is like on a houseboat. The Jordaan is also known for its connection to Dutch art. Rembrandt spent the last years of his life here, and the Rembrandtplein, Rembrandt Square, is a tribute to his legacy. I stopped by the Electric Ladyland Museum, a quirky museum dedicated to fluorescent art, which added a splash of color to my day. Dam Square. A historical hub. Dam Square is the beating heart of Amsterdam, and its history dates back to the 13th century when a dam was built on the Amstel River. Today, it's a bustling square surrounded by landmarks like the Royal Palace, the Nieuwe Kerk, and the National Monument, which commemorates World War II victims. The Royal Palace, originally built as a city hall during the Dutch Golden Age, is an architectural masterpiece. I took a guided tour inside and marveled at the grand marble halls, intricate sculptures, and stunning paintings. The Nieuwe Kerk, located next to the palace, hosts exhibitions and royal ceremonies, including the coronation of Dutch monarchs. Dam Square is also a great place to experience Amsterdam's street culture. I watched a talented magician perform tricks for a crowd of onlookers and listened to a jazz band playing near the National Monument. The square's energy is infectious, and it's a perfect spot to take a break and soak in the city's vibe. The Nine Streets. A shopper's paradise. De Negen Straatjes, the Nine Streets, is a charming area nestled between the main canals. Each street has its own unique character, and the shops range from high-end fashion boutiques to quirky vintage stores. I spent hours exploring the area, popping into stores like Laura Dolls for vintage clothing and the Darling for handmade jewelry. One of my favorite finds was a tiny bookstore called the American Book Center, which had an impressive collection of English-language books. I also stopped at Pluck, a cozy cafe known for its healthy salads and decadent cakes. The Nine Streets are a great place to pick up souvenirs, from Delft blue pottery to stroopwafels and Dutch licorice. Museumplein. A cultural treasure trove. Amsterdam is a city of art and culture, and Museumplein is the epicenter of it all. The square is surrounded by world-class museums, including the Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, and the Stedelijk Museum. The Rijksmuseum is a must-visit for art lovers. Its collection includes masterpieces by Dutch masters like Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Frans Hals. I spent hours admiring Rembrandt's The Night Watch and Vermeer's The Milkmaid. The museum's architecture is equally impressive, with its Gothic and Renaissance-inspired design. The Van Gogh Museum is dedicated to the life and work of Vincent van Gogh. I was moved by the emotional depth of his paintings, from sunflowers to the bedroom. The museum also offers insights into Van Gogh's personal struggles and his influence on modern art. For contemporary art enthusiasts, the Stedelijk Museum is a must. Its collection includes works by artists like Mondrian, Kandinsky, and Malevich. The museum's bold, modern architecture is a striking contrast to the historic buildings nearby. Vondelpark, a green escape. After a day of exploring, I retreated to Vondelpark, Amsterdam's largest and most popular park. The park is a favorite among locals who come here to jog, cycle, or simply relax. I found a quiet spot by the pond and watched as swans glided across the water. The park is also home to the Openlucht Theatre, open-air theatre, which hosts free performances during the summer. I was lucky enough to catch a live music performance, and the atmosphere was electric. Evening on the canals. A magical experience. As the sun set, I boarded a small boat for a canal cruise. The city looked even more enchanting at night, with the bridges and buildings illuminated by soft golden lights. The 4K camera captured the reflections of the lights on the water, creating a dreamlike effect. The cruise took us past landmarks like the Magier Brug, Skinny Bridge, a picturesque drawbridge that's especially beautiful at night. We also passed the Amstel River, where the Care Theatre and the Hermitage Amsterdam stood out against the night sky. Final thoughts. Amsterdam is a city that captivates you from the moment you arrive. Its canals, historic architecture, and vibrant culture make it a destination like no other. Whether you're exploring its world-class museums, strolling through its charming neighborhoods, or simply enjoying a stroopwafel by the water, Amsterdam has a way of making you feel at home. This walking tour was a journey through time and culture, and the 4K footage I captured will allow me to relive the magic of Amsterdam whenever I want. Until next time, tot ziens, goodbye.